Hey guys, this is Jay here. I just lit this thing up just a few seconds ago, and it's going pretty good right now. I got some coals going already, and all I did was just use a couple of scrap pieces of wood and some straw and a few pieces of charcoal right now. Up, the guineas are out in annoyance already. So try to scare them off a little bit, but those things don't get deterred much by anything. It started off going pretty good. I'm gonna have to throw a few more coals in there, but it fires up real quick, and you can see it's going now. It's finally caught onto the wood. I threw in some straw in there and laid off the straw, and now it's starting to take up. I'll let this sit there and see if you guys can. Oops. Try to set this on here for a second. Try to run the guineas off. Well, I came back with some fuel for the fire, so I'm gonna throw in this little block of wood. Try to shove it in a little bit farther. Get it burning real good. Got another little chunk in there. Try to get some fuel going in there. But she's smoking pretty well. It's quite a windy day. So if this thing keeps on burning pretty well, as good as the breeze is going in here, if this keeps going, man. Try to get a decent view at this thing. Right now it's got some coals going in there. Trying to get it to fully ignite. Shouldn't take too long with as dry wood as it is. As much oxygen gets in there. Once I get a couple decent sized coals in there, this thing should take off. There we go, we're getting some flames now. But the whole point on there is just to have enough airflow underneath it to keep your fuel going. Once this thing fires up and you get that oxygen flow, this takes off like crazy. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, now I'm getting a good amount of heat. You can start seeing the flames. I don't know with the light the way it is. Now you can see them. There we go. See the flames. Once it gets blazing, it's like the other day on just a light firing, I had a flame shooting out the top about a foot high out of the opening up top. But you can hear it taking in that air. It's like the sound of, we got an old wood burning furnace. That thing, once you get an oxygen flow in there, that thing just roars. This thing's got a decent roar to it right now. Yeah, I think I got that thing spaced right, man. This is a nice warm day for February. We've had quite a few cold days, but man, this day surely made up for it. Yeah, wow. Glad I didn't stick the camera in the way at that moment because that flame was really high. Man, it's getting to the point where you can't stick your hand on top of it. It's getting real hot. That flame is coming up close to the top. It'd be really hard to see with the light outside as bright as it is. And all the carbon is starting to discolor the magnesium silicate, which I don't mind. I don't care what color the top is or the inside of the chimney is, as long as it works. And man, that thing is getting hot. And that flame is just flying up that chimney. Whew, she's blazing all right. Just listen to her go. That's keeping those coals blazing hot. Just look at that. This is exactly what you want. You want this thing roaring. Phew. She's cooking, that's for sure. And this batch of refractory sure is holding up. Other than me scraping off some of the magnesium silicate off the sides, I really haven't seen any cracking or popping in the walls. And I can't remember what day I finished on this. It's been probably about a week curing. And man, this outside, there's a couple spots that are just barely warm at all. And some spots out here that are just ice cold. Right above the mouth, right here. Right here, the metal on the outside, ice cold. And imagine that with something like that going on the inside. This side, yep, this stuff, this is insulating very well. Yeah. This outside metal is not even feeling the heat. And at the thinnest point is right about here where it's thin, where this thing was dented. Nothing. So far so good. I'll let this fire for a little while. I was wanting to see how hot it is. I grabbed out a section of rail and a pipe and a railroad spike that I ground down. I just wanted to see how hot this thing would get. I'll test it out in a little bit, but I figured I might do another video, and if it turns out great, then I'll post it. If it doesn't turn out too well, then I probably won't, but I don't know. That just depends on whether this thing gets hot enough to even get the metal where I can actually put it on the anvil. So, this is Jay, signing off. Later.